Yes, Mr. Malone.
As a court, please, my lord, we apologize for the slight delay.
Yeah.
We were informed, my lord, that there was a problem regarding accused number 3 and 5. But we are told that they are now here. I think they're just bringing them up now, my lord.
3 and 5 are here. Who is not here, according to you?
I think accused number 2 will be the one who is not here. But once they've come up, we'll see who's here and who's not here. Looks like they're all here.
Yes, Mr. Malone, then let's start.
As a court, please, Brigadier Gininda.
Yes, Mr. Minister.
Thank you, my lord. My lord, I was wondering if we cannot be afforded just some few minutes to find out what the problem was before we commence with the
Now you
trial.
can consult. No problem.
Yes, please, the trial.
Yes. May I address the court?
Hello?
May I address the court?
Yes, yes, sir.
My lord, in respect of accused number 2,
Yeah.
he actually raises a complaint about Mr. Mlaudzi.
Who is Mr. Mlaudzi?
Mr. Mlaudzi is the one who is transporting accused number 2 to the prison.
Is that so? What is the complaint?
This morning, he handcuffed accused number 2 from his hands, and when accused number 2 informed him that he's not a sentenced prisoner, he's an awaiting prisoner. He said no, because he's fighting in court. So that's the reason why he had to handcuff him in his hands. So he told him that he was not participating in the fight yesterday, but he insisted. So therefore he requested that he should be replaced with another person who can transport him to prison if he's going to develop this attitude towards him.
So he doesn't want to be handcuffed because he says he's not a sentenced prisoner. What is the criterion for handcuffing a person?
My Lord, if they are using the iron legs,
Hello?
if they are using the iron legs, I believe there must be a distinction between a sentenced prisoner and a awaiting trialist in terms of handcuffing.
Is your client on bail, sir?
My Lord?
Is he on bail, in other
No,
words?
he's in custody.
Did he apply for bail?
He did, then it was refused.
It was refused.
Yeah.
So according to you, because he's not sentenced, therefore he's not liable to be handcuffed. What about
Yes.
safety and security considerations? They don't come into play.
My Lord, the only aspect that is relevant is the accusation of the official towards the accused, because it arises from what happened yesterday. It's not a normal cause of bringing the accused before court.
Is that all, sir?
That's all, my Lord.
Mr. Bandoi, what's your view?
As a court, please, my Lord, we haven't spoken to Sergeant Lauzi as yet regarding this issue, but as the court pointed out, safety is of paramount importance. If Sergeant Lauzi has identified a reason that would necessitate the accused being handcuffed, obviously he would have then taken those measures. But we want to point out, my Lord, that safety is of paramount importance. And I don't think Sergeant Laus would have just willy-nilly decided to handcuff accused number 2.
And the choice, alleged choice of an accused person saying, I don't want this Judge Mokhachi.
Yes.
I want to be tried by Nelson Mandela.
Yeah. Well, my Lord, I don't think the...
Well,
it's for the accused.
I'm saying it figuratively because according to Mr. Mgomezulu, his client says Mr. Mlauzi must be replaced by some other border.
Well, my Lord, Sergeant Mlauzi has been helping to transport the accused for the better part of a year and half, and he cannot just be replaced like that, my Lord, at the whim of an accused person.
We all are aware that the Department of Correctional Services is a different department from the Department of Justice, and also it's a different department from the judiciary. I don't have the authority to determine how the prisoners should be, so-called prisoners or awaiting trial persons, should be transported from their places of incarceration to court. Neither am I also seized with the authority to determine how the Department of Correctional Services should enforce their safety precautions and how also they conduct what one would term the decorum of this court, having regards to what happened yesterday. It's obvious there must have been a meeting of some sort because, and I'm not prejudging anything, in the news I heard a statement being issued by the Commissioner of Correctional Services. Consequently, I'm not going to make any comment except that if counsels for all the accused can engage with the Department of Correctional Services, maybe that is the apt way of resolving this issue. And the court should not be seized with administrative issues which have no bearing to the actual court proceedings, because that's what I'm seized with, that these court proceedings should proceed in an orderly fashion. But security priorities, I think counsel for the accused can take that up with the Commissioner of Police or with the senior warder who represents the Commissioner of Police amongst the warders there. Okay. I'll leave it at that.
Mnumzana uNtanzi bekhulunywa ngawe ke la ukuthi kunesicelo ke sokuthi oqala ke ukuthi uSergeant Mlawuzi uye wafaka uzankosi ezandleni ngoba ke ekhuluma ngesehlakalo ke senzeke izolo wase uyacela ke futhi wena ukuthi akashintshwe uhanjiswe omunye umuntu. Inkantolo ithi awunayo inawo ke lawo magunya lawo ukuthi ke uhanjiswa kanjani kwenziwani ke ngoba inkantolo ithi ke khona ke naloko kwenzekile izolo ibonile nasendabeni uCommissioner wase-Correctional Service ekhipha ke i-statement. Manje ke inkantolo ayingeke ke iqhabukele la engafanele ukuthi ke iqhabukele khona ukuthi ke uhanjiswa kanjani kwenziwani kwena inkantolo ayingeke ingene lapho. Manje ke inkantolo ayingeke ithathe isinqumo lapho. Abameli benu yibona kuzofanele bakhulumisane nalabo ke abaphethe ke abanihambisayo bakhulumisane baxoxe kodwa inkantolo ke izozwa kulokho hayi ukuthi kube inkantolo ithatha leso sinqumo.
Okay, Mr. Leroy.
I don't know if my other friends would like to address my other learned friends would like to address the court, but
Anybody wants to address the court regarding this exigence? Doesn't appear so. Okay.
right.
Yeah. You're still under oath, Brigadier.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, please.
Brigadier Gininda, yesterday, just before we adjourned, you testified that you explained accused one's rights to him for the second time, and you wanted to establish what his election was. What happened further?
Yes, my lord, indeed, I did say that, but I also indicated that he elected to speak to me, and he also did not require the services of an attorney.
Ngishilo ke izolo ke ukuthi ngamazisa ngamtshela umsola oqala ngamalungelo akhe wasithatha ke isinqumo sokuthi ke uzokhuluma nami washo nokusho futhi ke ukuthi kwangasona isifiso sakhe ukuthi ke kube khona ummeli.
And that, my lord, was done freely and voluntarily.
Lokho wakwenza nje ekhululekile kuyiphumela kuyena engaphoqiwe.
Yes, you may continue.
Sorry, I think there's two hands.
My lord, it seems as if accused number 5 needs to talk to you.
Two.
Then number 3.
Accused number 5 seems to be indicating that he needs to talk to you.
Yes, yes.
And number 3.
Thank you, my lord. There's a point that accused number 3 wishes to bring to the attention of the court, my lord, with regard to how he's actually been cuffed. He says he's feeling very uncomfortable. So I am saying to him that I would request an indulgence from the court so that he personally bring that attention to that point to the attention of the court, my lord.
What about the cuffs? Are they too tight?
He can show them to the court so that the court can make its own judgment on whether they are too tight or
Where's
not.
the warder who's in charge of it? Looking after accused number 3, is it?
I'm not, I don't know them, my lord. I don't know who's in charge of the accused number 3.
Is that you, sir? Just attend to the cuffs there, and as you normally do.
My lord, accused number 5 is also complaining about the same situation because accused 1 and 2 are not cuffed in the same way that they are cuffed. So he's saying he's feeling very uncomfortable.
Yeah, there's the gentleman who will attend to all those queries. Is that it? Yeah, Mr. Baloi, let's continue.
Yes, Brigadier, you can continue.
Sorry, what's wrong now, sir? You
I
what?
don't feel well.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Which is, I can't hear properly when I'm cuffed as I'm seated, my lord.
You hear with your hands, in other words.
Ngabe uzwa ngezandla yini? Even if I don't hear with my hands, my lord, but if I can just be free as I'm seated.
I'm not going to make an order to that effect. You heard what I said. Is that not so?
Akukho ke engizokusho ubusukuzwile engikushilo ngaphambilini.
Okay. You can discuss that with your attorney or advocate, and your advocate can discuss it with the Commissioner of Police. Because I don't know the safety and security measures the Commissioner of Police takes after people have fought in court. I don't know. So that's why I can't get involved in making an order about you not hearing when you are cuffed.
Uzokhuluma nommeli wakho, ummeli wakho uzokhuluma ke nosojele ngoba ke angazi ke manje ukuthi iziphi ke indlela ke eyikhishiwe noma isinqumo esithathiwe emuva kokuthi ke abantu kuliweke enkantolo. Uzokhuluma nommeli wakho yena ke abesekhuluma ke nabo ke abaphethe ezasemajele.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Baloi.
God bless. Brigadier, you may continue.
My lord, yes. So thereafter, I've put to him that I have a reason to believe that he was involved in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa.
Ngase ngimtshela ke manje ke usakhuluma ke ubekade ukuthi inkulumo yakhe nomsolo wokuqala ngase ngimtshela ke umsolo wokuqala ukuthi ke nezathu sokuthi ngikholwe ukuthi ke uyambandakanyeka ke ekubulaweni kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa.
His response, my lord, mounted to a confession.
Loko awakusho kwayinto eholela ekuvumeni.
Yes.
I then asked him, obviously after the discussion, my lord, as to whether he will be willing, freely and voluntary to make such a statement to an independent officer and also do points out that he referred to in my discussion with him, and the answer was yes.
Ngase ngimbuza ke emuva ke kwaleyo nkulumo leyo ke ukuthi angayimisela yini noma ke angathi yini akhulumeke kumuntu ke engathi independent umuntu oyimeleke iofficer eyimele noma independent futhi ke ahambe ke ayokhomba emuva kwalokho asengitshele kona uma ephendula ke waphendula wathi yebo.
My Lord, I then ended the discussion with him and informed him that I'll make such arrangement, where I then briefed the members who brought him to me, enforced us that we'll have to make a change of arrangement, whereby we'll go to the provincial office in Gauteng so that such arrangements of an independent officer could be arranged for such a confession.
Emuva kwalokho ke ngase ngiqeda ke inkulumo yami naye ke ngase ke ngiyokhulumisana nalamaphoyisa ke ayemlethile ngibatshela ke ukuthi manje sekuzofanele sishintshe ke manje inhlelo noma ke uhlelo ke ukuthi kuzofanele sihambe siye ehhovisi lesifunda provincial office ukuthi ke bona ke ba-arrange ke noma benze ukuthi kutholakale ke umuntu ongahlangene necala leli uma imbiza ke kathi ke independent azohamba ayokhuluma kuyena.
My Lord, as I was driving to the provincial office, I made numerous calls to try and find someone who can assist until I got the assistance from Colonel Mboto.
Nanjengoba ngangihamba ke ngishayela ke imoto ngiya kulona ke ihhovisi lesifunda noma provincial office ngangixhumana ke noma ke ngenza ke ama phone calls kubantu ke abahlukene kwazi kwayisikhathi la khona ke ngithola uKolonel Mboto.
Yes, we proceed.
Colonel Mboto, my Lord, requested me to bring the accused at Diepkloof, or make arrangements for the accused to be brought at Diepkloof. That is accused number 1 at Diepkloof SAPS.
uKolonel Mboto wasengicela ke ukuthi ke angenzeke ukuthi umsolo wokuqala alethwe kwisiteshi samaphoyisa sase Diepkloof.
Furthermore, my Lord, Colonel Mboto was not privy to this investigation as he was never part of it, nor did I ever brief or work with him previously.
Okwesibili ke ukuthi uKolonel Mboto wayengazi lutho ke ngophenyo laleli cala nanjengoba engakaze abe yingxenye yophenyo kwaleli cala futhi ke angikaze nangaphambilini ngasebenza naye.
I thereafter, my Lord, also phoned Constable Munaring from Swart to come and assist with the movement of the accused to Colonel Mboto from Eretin.
Ngase futhi ke ngixhumana naye uConstable Munaring weSwat ukuthi ke ezolekelela ke ngokuhanjiswa kwakhe umsolwa esiwa kuyena uKolonel Mboto.
When we arrive in Eretin, my Lord, the accused, or rather, when we arrive in Eretin, Constable Munaring arrived, and I handed over accused 1 to him.
Mase sifika ke khona eRetin naye ke uMunaring wase efika ngase ngindlulisela umsolwa wokuqala ngindlulisela kuyena uMunaring.
But prior to the handing over, my Lord, I warned him again of his constitutional rights and established, because he was not traveling with me in the same car, I was traveling alone, and established from him as to whether he still wants to continue with making a statement. The answer was yes, my Lord.
Kodwa ke ngaphambilini kokuthi ngimdlulisela kuyena uMunaring nanjengoba ke wayengahambi nami ke emotweni ngangihambela ngedwa mina ngaphinda futhi ngamazisa ngamalungelo akhe anawo uqinisekisa ke ukuthi ke usafisa yini ukuthi akhulume noma enze istatement wathi umephendula wathi yebo.
Yes.
My lord, he was then taken to, he was taken by the constable to Diepkloof. I think after 2 hours or so, I then received a call from Colonel Mboto informing me that he was finished taking down the confession or the statement from accused one.
Umsolwa ke wase ehanjiswa ke uyena uconstable emhambisela eDeepkloof. Cabanga ukuthi ke emuva kwamahora amabili ngathola ucingo olubuya kuyena uKenneth Mbotho engitshela ke ukuthi useqedile ngaye umsolwa oqala.
He further informed my lord that the confession statement itself will be kept by him, and I should make arrangements to come and collect it from him directly, which I've done, I think, on the following day, my lord.
Wase engitshela ke ukuthi ke istatement leso noma ke ukuvuma ke noma kwegonyulo kaloko awakwenza ke yena ke uKenneth Mbotho uzogcina kuyena kuze kube isikhathi ke la mina ke mathupha ngizoza kuyena ke ngizosithatha into ke leyo engayenza ngicabanga ukuthi ngelanga elilandelayo.
Just before you proceed, what time was it when you handed over accused number 1 to Constable Munaring at Eraton?
My lord, I'm not sure, but I know it was before 2200 hours.
Ufuna ukwazi umshushisi ukuthi kwakubani isikhathi uma usundlulisela umsolo wokuqala kuyena uMunaring eEraton. Anginaso isiqiniseko kodwa ngicabanga ukuthi kwakungaphambi nje ukuthi kushayeke noma ke kumbane eleshumi ihora ebusuku.
And was Constable Munaring alone when he took accused number 1 to Diepkloof police station?
He wasn't alone, my lord, but I don't remember the member of SWAT that he was with, but I do know that there were two. It was two of them.
Wayengayedwa ke ngalelo langa uMunaring angisakhumbuli ke elinye ilunga leli ke leSWAT kodwa ke ngiyakhumbula nje ukuthi babe babili.
Yes, what happened further?
So then after a few minutes, suppose maybe 10 to 15, they then arrived back. This is now Constable Munaring with this member as well as with accused number 1, my lord.
So a few minutes after?
10 to 15 minutes they arrived back. Narrating with accused.
Okay. Base kuthi nje emuva ke kwesikhashana ke ngathi ke imizuzu ngaba eyishumi noma 15 ke base bebuya ke yena uMunaring kanye ke nozakwabo ke bebuyela khona eEraton kanye naye umsolo.
The time that you've just mentioned, the 15 minutes, it was 15 minutes after what event?
It was 15 minutes after I was talking to Colonel Mboto.
Kwakuyimizuzu ke ewu15 emuva kokuthi sengikhulumile naye uKenneth Mboto.
Yes, you may proceed.
My lord, they handed the suspect, accused 1, to me, and I asked him if he was fine or if he had any complaint. He said he was fine, my lord, and there was no complaint from him.
Base ke bemdlulisela ke kumina ke umsolo woqala ngambuza ke futhi ukuthi kukhona yini akhala ngako noma khona yini anganelisekile ikona wathi ke cha akukho.
Yes.
I further asked him, my lord, if he would still be willing to point out the following day. I was very specific, a witch doctor that came up in our discussion, and the answer was yes, he's still willing to do that freely and voluntarily, my lord.
Ngase ngimbuza ke ukuthi ke ngelanga elilandelayo usayimisele yini ukuthi ke uhambe ke uyokhomba ke inyanga ke wase ngoba ke iyona ke eyavela ke inkulumo esasinayo nyanga noma ke isangoma ke waphendula ke wathi yebo.
I then, my lord, indicated to him that Sergeant Mohola with some of the members will come to him the following day to follow up on that witch doctor investigation, and that if he should feel that he has changed his mind or he needs assistance for legal representation or whatever concern that he may have, then he should feel free to bring it up to her attention, my lord.
Ngase ngimazisa futhi ke nokuthi ke kulandelandelayo ke uzoza ke uSergeant Mufula azoqhubeka ke nalelo phenyelele noma la kwafanele ukuthi kiwe khona ke noma kuukuthi ke uma kuukuthi ngalelo langa lelo ke useshintshe umqondo ke noma ke ucabanga ukuthi khona ke nje okungamphathi kahle ke kuzofanele lokho ke noma ufune isifiso sokuthi abe nommeli noma udinga usizo lommeli akusho lokho kuyena uSergeant Mufula.
I further, my lord, requested the same member, Sergeant Munaring, with the crew that he was having to assist with the escort of the sergeant, the investigator, in escorting accused one to whatever that needed to be done and eventually to the detention facility.
Ngase ngimcela ke yena ke uSergeant Munaring kanye nozakwabo ke lo owayenaye ngalelo langa ke ukuthi ke balekeleleke yena uSergeant ngaloko ke okwakufanele ukuthi kwenziwe ke nokuthi ke ase abuyiselwe la avalelwe khona noma agcinwe khona.
We then parted ways, my lord.
Sase sihlukana ke.
Did you know where accused number 1 was going to be detained?
I was informed, my lord, that he was detained at Valeria SAPS.
Ngatshelwa ke ukuthi ke umsolo wokuqala ke wayevalelwe kumaphoyisa ke ase Valeria.
You testify that upon his return from Diepkloof police station, he did not have any complaints. Did you see any injuries on him?
No, I did not, my lord, and I also did not detect or pick up any sign of uneasiness or panic. It was basically, for me, in my own observation, my lord, it was more a sign of a relief. He was looking better than when he was. Like, you know, when something has been taken off your shoulders. But other than that, my lord, there was no sign of fear, concern, or threats that I detected when I observed him, and I also did not see any visible injuries when I was talking to him, my lord.
Ushilo ke kubufakazi bakho ke ukuthi uma ebuya ke khona erathi nombuzileke ukuthi khona yini akhala ngakho ke noma engaphathekile kahle ingabe ke khona yini owakubona wena ke ukuthi ke mephendula ke mina ke engakubona nje ngabona ke ukuthi ke umuntu okhululekile ke futhi ke ebukeka nanjengomuntu ke manje ke osekhululeke noma osengcono ngaphezulu kwendlela ebeyiyo ngapha. Uyazi uma kunento nje esuswe emahlombe akho usuzizwa ngcono ke manje, so angazi ngibone nje noma ngalela langa angibonanga ukuthi khona into engamphethanga kahle kukhona okumhluphayo konke lokho angazi ngibone nokuthi ngibone ke futhi ukuthi ushayiwe.
And what time did you part ways with him?
It would have been after midnight, my lord, may not be specific, but it was just after 12 midnight. But definitely before 12:30. You know, it could be between 12 to 12:30, but definitely before 1. It was just after midnight.
Isikhathi ke ungathi ke wayeseshayileke u12 wasebusuku ke kodwa maybe ungathi nje phakathi ke kwakhe u12 no 12 kodwa ke engekashayi u1 uma sihlukana.
Yes, you may proceed.
My lord, then the following day, that is now the 31st of May 2020, I received a call from Sergeant Mohola, who informed me that they found the said witch doctor that we spoke about the previous day, and they were on their way to the office. Rather, they asked where we should meet, and I directed them to come to the same provincial office with the said witch doctor.
Ngelandelayo ke ngase ngithola ucingo olubuya kuyena ke uSergeant Mohola engitshela ke ukuthi ke impela ke isangomaki noma inyanga leyo ke bayithola ke esenguza futhi ukuthi ke sihlangane kuphi. Ngase ngibatshela ukuthi asihlanganeke kwioffice lesikhulu noma ke provincial office naye naso ke nayo ke inyanga leyo.
My lord, they arrived with the said witch doctor. It was in the late afternoon, early evening, and I came to know him as Mr. Lion Zwane. That is now the witch doctor.
Beza ke kumina ngathi nje kwakusemini ke ilanga no imini okay. ngathi nje kusekuntambama-ke yena naye-ke ubaba lo kwaku-Lion Zwane.
Just a minute. Yes.
When he arrived, my lord, when he was brought to my office, I introduced myself. I was introduced firstly, then I introduced myself to him, warned him according to his constitutional rights, and informed him about the purpose of our interaction. That is, his name came up on the matter before this court. In other words, the matter of Senzo Meiwa.
Wethulwa-ke kumina yena-ke nami ngase ngizethula-ke kuyena-ke ngase ngimtshela-ke ngamalungelo akhe-ke anawo ngokomthethosisekelo, ngamtshela-ke futhi nenhloso noma injongo yokuthi-ke sihlanganeke ngalelo langa lelo, nokuthi-ke igama lakhe lavela-ke mayelana nalolu daba oluphambi kwenkantolo-ke manje udaba-ke lokushona kwakhe uSenzo Meiwa.
While we were talking, my lord, at that time, accused one was then walked in. He was brought in. It was not planned, but he just walked in with some of the EMPD members into my office.
Ngaleso sikhathi-ke ngisakhuluma naye-ke ubaba uZwane loyo-ke kwakungasiyona-ke into eyayihleliwe, kodwa nje umsolo wokuqala wangena-ke ehamba nawo amalunga e-EMPD.
My lord, what became prudent and abundantly clear is that when Mr. Zwane locked eyes with accused one, it was clear that he knows him because he made utterances.
Kwathi-ke noma-ke into eyavele nje yaqhamuka-ke yacaca-ke ukuthi kwathi uma kuhlangana amehlo akhe ubaba uZwane namehlo akhe umsola wokuqala-ke kwacaca banje ukuthi bayazana-ke ebesafuna ukusho abakusho, kodwa-ke umshushisi umvimbeli.
God, please, my lord, we have proposed to the defense that the evidence of Mr. Zwane be incorporated in the trial within the trial. They are still mulling over that issue. We'll deal with it in due course. Yes, you may proceed.
I don't understand.
Mr. Zwane has already testified in the main trial. We've requested that his evidence be injected in the trial within the trial. And they are still contemplating that issue now.
Yes, Mr. Mgomezu, what's your view?
My lord, it should be kept in suspense during the discussion.
Which discussions?
That evidence that was made by Mr. Zwane during the main trial be injected to the trial within the trial.
What does the law say?
My lord, according to my understanding, the evidence that has been led in the trial, in the main trial, cannot be used in the trial within the trial.
Mr. Messi, what's your view about the proposal which allegedly you and Mr. Baloi and Mr. Umalo and Mr. Munye are discussing?
As it is the court, I think that this is an issue relating to accused number one.
Yeah, fine.
I think it is in the domain of accused number one, but whether or not evidence, there could be a request that particular evidence should be incorporated in a particular trial. I think there's nothing irregular about it.
There's nothing irregular?
Yes.
Mr. Munye? Sorry?
My lord, I think it is matters that rest in the terrain of accused number one, so I will have nothing to comment about. Yes. But in as far as the incorporation of the evidence in the main trial, there is nothing irregular, as my colleague has indicated.
You say there's nothing irregular?
Yes, there is nothing irregular, as long as the state makes an application.
My lord, our position is also the same. That evidence relate only to accused number one. It does not relate to all. accused number 5, so we have no comment.
Of course, you can't quote any decision. When you quote any decision, Mr. Nisi, there's nothing irregular, Mr. Namado and Mr. Munyeki.
No, I don't think no, Malord.
There's no decision.
It's a long-standing practice.
Nah. It's the other way around.
Oh, okay, thank you.
If a person testifies in the main trial before this court has held an inquiry as to whether there's any dispute about the admissibility of either admissions, statements, or pointing out, and the court declares that a trial within a trial should be held after the so-called gentleman Lion Zulu has testified in the main trial, I don't think you can incorporate that evidence by agreement into the trial within the trial. It's irregular. Because the injunction is that what happens in the trial within the trial should not be contaminated with what happens in the main trial. Is that not so, Mr. Baboy?
Well,
so you can recall the gentleman to come and give evidence, no problem.
Yes, in fact, that's what we're informing the defense, that it will serve no purpose to call the witness just for him to confirm what is testified about in the main trial. We can just I don't think there's anything that debars the state and the defense to agree to the incorporation of the evidence.
That is permissible.
Yes.
If you do it that way, but he must be in court and he must confirm.
Yes.
That's the evidence which he has given. He stands by it.
Yes, but if the defense then says that exercise is not necessary and they make an admission to that effect, a 220 admission.
Yeah,
I think.
No, the problem with it, fine.
That will still be proper.
Because we have Mr. Ngobezulu here says it can be done.
Yes, which is the proposal. We prepare the 220 admissions.
Okay, fine. You can address me later on, but I'm of the view that it's done here. When it goes to the SCA, they will say, this guy, what was he smoking?
Yes. And that also relates to the clocking records of accused number 2 and his leave application as testified to by Mr. Melder. So those two aspects, those two witnesses.
And what about the latter? What is this agreement?
Well, the same will apply as with Mr. Zwani's evidence.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
All right.
But once there's a meeting of the minds, we will inform the court accordingly.
Yeah, you can go bypass it by invoking Section 220.
Yes, yes.
That
is the route that we've proposed to the defense.
Yes, okay, thanks.
Yes, Brigadier, you can continue. You mentioned that it was, as you put it, abundantly clear that accused number 1 and Mr. Zwane know each other.
Absolutely, my lord. It was based on the utterances that occurred between the two of them.
Namnjengoba sengishilo ukuthi kwacaca bhake ukuthi bayazana ke umsolo woqala kanye naye ke ubabuzwane ngenxa ke yaloko okwashiwo noma okwakhulunywa phakathi kwabo bobabili.
Furthermore, my lord, it also became clear that accused 1 was making further confessions to Mr. Zwane when they were just talking as to what was wrong, why was he in that position.
Okunye futhi ke okwacaca ke ukuthi ke umsola woqala ke wayeseqhubeka ke evuma okunye uma ke manje esesho noma esekhuluma ke kuyena ke ubabuzwane ukuthi kwakuyini ke engakaze ihambe kahle noma engazange ihambe kahle nokuthi kwakungani ke eseyithola ekulesi yasimo.
My lord, I warned him again immediately according to his constitutional rights and indicate that what he was saying, this discussion that I was privy to, can be used against him in a court of law, and the other rights that I referred to, he said understands, but he's simply just telling the truth. But the discussion was between the two of them, my lord.
ngase ngiqhubeka futhi ke ngimxwayisa ke ukuthi manje ke ngimxwayisa futhi ke ngamalungelo akhe ke nokuthi ke lokhu ke manje engikuzwayo okukhulunywayo ke noma akushoyo ke kule nkulumo ukuthi kungasetshenziswa kuyena ke enkantolo ke wase ethi ke uyangizwa ukuthi nje ukhuluma nje iqiniso.
Now that's Mr. Zwane and accused number 1. Who are you referring to?
Mr. Zwane is the witch doctor, my lord, that I was referring to.
Yes, but the one that was making admissions and the one that you want in terms of constitutional right, which one are you referring to?
So, my lord, just to interject and to just put things in a correct perspective. My lord, I'm concerned about the word witch doctor. I think we should give the proper meaning because it has some defamatory elements. So let us get the literal meaning of what is a witch doctor. Because in Zulu, mthakati, which I understand it.
Perhaps traditional healer will be more appropriate.
Traditional healer?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what Mr. Zwane said.
Yes. 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 Thank you, Mr. Mpofu.
Okay.
Yes. Just clarify, who did you warn in
So
terms of the constitutional rights?
Yes, my lord. So the first part, it was accused 1 making the confessions to the traditional healer, Mr. Zwane, and it is accused 1 that I was warning according to his section 35 constitutional right, my lord.
Lapha ke ngishoyo ke ukuthi manje umuntu wayeseqhubeka ke evuma ke noma eqhubeka ke nokuvuma noma ke gonyuluka ke komunye kwakuwumsola wokuqala uyena ke lo owumlaphi wendabuko futhi ke kwaba uyena ke futhi engiqhubekayo ke ngimexwayisa ngamalungelo akhe.
Yes, may I proceed?
My lord, thereafter I asked the said members to remove accused 1 so that I can carry on with further interviews with the traditional healer, Mr. Zwane.
Ngase ngiwacela ke amalunga lana ke ukuthi ke amkhiphe ke umsola wokuqala ukuze ke ngiqhubekeke nokuthi ngikhulumisane naye ubaba uZwane.
Yes.
After our discussion, my lord, it became clear that 1 can utilize him by obtaining a statement. I therefore requested my colleague, that is the head of the anti-corruption unit in Germiston, Colonel Mutlame, to assist me in taking the statement from Mr. Zwane.
Kwase kucaca ke kwinkulumo yami ke naye ke ubaba uZwane ukuthi ke manje sengingamsebenzisa ke nanjengofakazi ke ngase ngicela ke uza kwethu oKenneth Mutlame osebenza ke eGermiston ukuthi angilekele noma angisize ke ngokuthi ke athathe istatement kuyena ubaba uZwane.
My lord, he agreed. I then requested the members to take Mr. Zwane to the kennel in Germiston DPCI and thereafter take him home after such statement has been taken.
Phela ke ngase ngibacela ke amalunga lana ukuthi ke asizeke ngokuthi ke athathe ubaba uZwane bamhambise ke bamikise khona ke eGermiston ku Colonel Mutlame ayonikeza ke ngaleso statement leso buse kuthi ke emuva kwalokho ke bamthathe bamhambise ekhaya.
Yes.
Indeed, my lord, such a statement was taken, and I know because then it was brought to my attention, that is, Colonel Mutlame first informed me that he's done, and the statement was brought to me. And insofar as accused 1 is concerned, I do know that he was eventually detained back at Valera SAPS after the taking of the statement.
Impela ke kwenzeka ke lokho ngoba ke wangitshela ke uKenneth Mutlame ukuthi useqedile ke emuva kwalokho istatement esalethwa ke kumina nokuthi ke emuva kwalokho ke sesithathiwe ke so statement umsola wokuqala ke wabuyiselwa ke khona eValeria emaphoyiseni akhona.
Just before we proceed, you mentioned that After accused number 1 made a statement to Colonel Mboto, you received this statement the following day.
Yes, my lord. In my recollection, it would have been the following day because he refused to give it to the said members for security reason and the leakages, my lord.
Impela ke ngishilo ukuthi ke emuva kokuthi uKenan Mboto esesithathile ke istatement kuyena umsolo wokuqala ngasithola ke mina ke ngelanga elilandelayo ngoba ke wanqaba ke ukuthi asinikeze ke amalunga ke lokho kungeyizathu nje zokuvikeleka nokuthi ke mhlambi sesinga aphuma ke manje noma sibe sobala ke.
I just want to show you a document which has been handed up as Exhibit FF. Can you just identify the document?
Yes, my lord. This is the pro forma that was given to me, completed by Colonel Mboto insofar as the confession that was made by accused number 1.
Lena ke yona ke iform noma lena ebizwa ngokuthi ke iproforma engayinikeza uyena ke uKenan Mboto emumva kokuthi eseqedile ke ukuthi ke umsolo wokuqala akhulume noma avume kuyena.
And it includes the same attachment that I saw when the statement was given by me. This is now the annexure to the pro forma, my lord.
Futhi ke isenale phepha nama amanye amaphepha ke lokho kubizwa ngokuthi annexure ke eyayikhona ke inkathi inikezwa mina amanye amaphepha la ahamba nayo ke iproforma lena.
So court, please, Malota, it's almost time for the short adjournment.
Oh,
Can we then?
Okay, short adjournment.
So well, thanks. Yes, about